basement.
Well, get on up here, man. Yo, Shred, what you got there?
Dude, Steve, I found a boombox in the basement.
Dude, play it up while we go to church.
Alright, 1 sec, dude.
Come on, we got like 5 minutes. Hit that up.
Do you know how to work it?
No. Do you know how to work it? Come on, just listen to me. Come on. Oh, yeah! This is my jam, dude. Get pumped.
I'm ready for church.
Go on,
I'm
I'm
ready.
ready. I'm grooving.
Steve,
Yo, what's up?
I'm gonna start this out. You just get out of here, man. Alright, we're gonna start it out. We got David and Goliath. You gonna take that stone? Chuck it. Take that stone? Chuck it. David, chucking that stone to Goliath. Little guy, big guy. Little guy, big guy. You gonna take that stone and just chuck it. Take that stone and chuck it at Goliath. All right. Next we got the Samson. You're gonna get real low and push it away. You're gonna get real low and push it away. You're gonna get real low and push it away. You're gonna get real low, grow out your hair, work real hard on that left side. It's a little hard. Real hard on the right, and then you're just gonna push it away. All right. Next we got the preaching. All right. You're gonna reach out, touch the congregation. Reach out, touch the congregation. Reach out, touch the congregation. Reach out, let them know you love them. Let them know you love them. Let them know you love them. All right, next we got keys to the temple. He's just out here flipping tables. He's just out here flipping tables. I'm mad at all them tax collectors. Just flipping tables. He's like, get out of my house. Flipping tables. Jesus is just real mad. He's just flipping tables and pushing people over, beating stuff up. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. All right. Looks like next we got the Holy Spirit freestyle. Just kind of relax you on down. Relax it.
Ooh, Shred, I'm grooving.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. I got this around. Get out of here. All right. Come on, you guys moving yet? Moving about halfway there. Halfway there. All right. You got Moses in the Red Sea. Got your staff, put it in the sea. Spread it out. All right. Jesus, you leading your people across Egypt. There's a sea in the way. You got to put your staff in the sea. Spread it out. Put your staff in the sea. Spread it out. Come on, get down. Staff in the sea. Spread it out. Did it just rain here? Because it's flooding. We're in the boat. We're rowing. Come on, put the hips in. Row that boat. Got nowhere to go, but you're going. Row that boat. Just, I don't want to see water. Just row that boat. Row it. Row it. Holy Spirit freestyle. Oh, yeah. Just move. Woo. All right. We got Jesus in the temple. Got to push the stone away. Push the stone away. Come on. Push that stone. Lunge it out. Push that stone. All right. We're in church. In church, worship leader, hands in the air, back to the keys. Hands in the air, back to the keys. One hand, one keys. One hand, one keys. Here we go. Come on, jump it. Jump real high. Jump real high. Get excited. Hands in the air, hands in the keys. Oh yeah. Oh, personal affair. Lots of white. Here we go. Come on, don't look back. Just don't look back. Pillar song. Come on, just don't look back. Pillar song. Oh, pillar song. Oh, pillar song. Don't look back. Look wide. Look wide. Oh my God. Here we go. Man, don't look back. You guys, we're almost there. Almost there. Come on, Shred. Finish out. Finish out. Let's go.
Good, dude. I'm feeling
Let's
refreshed.
go. All right. Let's do this. Where we go? Jump around. All right.
Keep moving.
Get on the floor, Shred. Sacrifice time. No way. Not gonna do it. No way! No way! What's that over there? Sacrifice? No way! No way! Alright, here we go.
Just gotta grab that forbidden fruit. Eat it. Grab the fruit. Eat it. Grab the fruit. Eat it. Grab the fruit. Eat it. Alright.
On the horse. On the horse.
Galloping.
That's not a gallop.
I'm a human, not a horse.
I'm doing perfectly okay. I'm gonna gallop. Alright, guys. Hope you're warmed up. Got an awesome sermon for you. Keep sure you stay in tune. Alright. Dance it out. Dance it out. Holy Spirit freestyle. Woo.
Hello, good people. It is just me tonight. Welcome to Youth Night Live. Without further ado, we are going to play a game. I have my 3 gentlemen over here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
thought you were
How's it
by
going, guys?
yourself.
Hello.
I'm Josh.
Nope, I'm Josh.
I was
You
by
can tell
myself.
because I'm wearing a hat backwards,
That
and we're the same.
I'm
didn't
still
realize that was
Steve.
happening.
Yeah, so back to me.
And back to Ricky.
All right, so
No, back
here's
to
the
me.
game, guys. We have 3 numbers on the board. We are going to have a team for Steve. We're going to have a team for Josh. We're going to have a team for Zacharias.
My team will win.
And we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins.
Doubt
So
it.
first up, I'm looking for the first 3 in each question. You got to type in your answer. And these are all things that I like, not what you like. They're what I like. Okay? So here we go. The first question, whoever answers, the first 3 people to answer the quickest wins. How many pets do I have? How many pets do you think I have?
7.
Let's see the
Well,
comments.
215.
Let's see.
Do you have a lot
Are we
of
guessing
do
right
chickens
now?
count
Is
as
this
pets?
happening? I wasn't prepared.
4.
Hey, what about the bugs that are in Ricky's house? Do they count?
The pincher bugs?
Yeah, the cockroaches are all my
Cockroaches
buddies.
count as pets.
Cockroaches are my buddies.
3,752 then.
All
in that
right,
case.
all right. That's good. That's good, everybody. Let's see. Let me switch this over
Does it only
to.
have 1?
All right, so we got
Cat.
Gabriella. You are going to be on Steve's team.
Is that Gabby? That's
Yes.
Gabby. All right. Who else is on Steve's team?
We have Colton Baker.
Colton Baker. What team is he on?
Steve's.
Colton Baker.
Let's go.
We're just going to fill out Steve's team right
All
now.
right.
Nice choice. I don't know if you had a
And
choice.
I'm going by
but
my
nice.
chat, guys. Sorry if it's out of order on yours, but this is what it is. And then we got, last but not least, Nina on
Oh, you got
Steve's team.
Nina?
Oh!
That's so cool.
That's a-
I'm winning.
That team is
I'm
stacked.
so winning.
That's not a stack
Yeah,
team.
Nina surfing
No
today?
way.
I think I saw something on Instagram.
Stacked
Nina
team.
Nina had straight D minuses last semester.
You're right.
That's what I heard.
Ooh.
You're right.
All right.
Oof.
Called out, Nina.
All right.
called
Here,
out.
here is the
feel like
next
that's
question.
true.
What do you think my favorite color is?
Ricky's favorite color?
My favorite color. I don't really care about yours, but what is mine?
Blue.
Let's see it. Oh! There it
Burgundy.
is. Bella is on Zach's team.
Burgundy.
Wow. Stacked team.
Let's see. We
You
got
already said Bella. I
Jedediah.
already assumed it's stacked. Well,
need
Bella,
the other
no,
two.
stacked. I would have said it.
Hey,
I think
Ricky,
anyway.
Steve is yellow now.
Yeah.
Steve is yellow. That's his team color.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
All right, Jed
I'm-
is on Zach's team.
Who else? Bella and who?
Jen.
Jen? Who'd
Yep.
you say?
We have a Jen?
Jed.
Oh,
Jedediah.
that's Jedi.
I know
Oh, I win.
Jedi.
No, I'm still pretty
And then we
confident in my
have
team.
Ashley Flowers.
Ashley Flowers. All right. All right.
Ashley, you're on. That's so cool.
All right.
That's exciting. Unless it's Tyler playing
I
for
wrote
Ashley.
some people's last names and some
Which one
people's
is
first
it,
names.
really? Is
No
it
rhyme or
Ashley
reason
or
why.
is
no rhyme. All right, so last we got Josh's team. All
He's
right.
Team Pink.
Yes.
Now, this should be the
Join me
easiest question
for
out of
Team
anything.
Pink.
What is my favorite fast food restaurant? Go.
Oh, get on there.
Let's go.
He
I
loves
should
Wendy's.
literally
Subways.
have-
Subway. for sure.
Quiznos. It's not even in business anymore, but that's his favorite.
Oh, Sarah.
Block-
What's,
Quiznos?
what's the one that's
Blockbuster.
East Coast? The East-
Blockbuster is my favorite
Oh,
fast food.
Allison Hosh, which is Ben.
What's the
That's
one on
Ben
the East
Hosh.
Coast? That's like the In-N-Out of the East Coast.
A Whataburger or Smashburger?
Yeah. What was it?
Whataburger?
Whataburger.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Who else we
Excited
got?
to play with you, boss.
And then we have Christian Beeman.
Christian
Ooh.
Beeman.
Let's
Okay.
go!
Okay.
There's so much echo in this big room.
With no one in it.
And then lastly, we have Jack Thompson.
Oh, man.
yes.
That's the
That's
boys'
a pretty
team.
good team.
Yeah.
Pretty good team, but
Ah,
I'm
you
still
guys-
pretty confident.
You guys lose.
Still pretty confident.
All right, guys, for the
team
hey,
is
hey,
called
Ricky.
the Kick
Yes.
Butt Flyers.
We got to tell them if they win this game, by the way. So, look, you guys were counting on you, mostly Team Blue, right? So, Bella, Jedi, Ashley Flowers. If you win this game before Youth Night Live next week, you get In-N-Out delivered to your house.
Boom.
To your house by Ricky. We just make him drive all around the county.
Sorry, Ricky.
And he's going to wear his, what's that costume? A bunny rabbit costume.
Yeah, you want?
Jack and-
I
He's
got
actually not
multiple
going to.
costumes.
He's not going to do that. But one of us will deliver in and out to your house. And if you win this game, Ricky, what are we playing?
We are playing a game. What is this game called?
It's called Wits and,
And
Wagers.
Wagers.
That. Okay, so how
Yeah,
this
what's
game
the
is going to
wagers?
go? I'm
What's the
going to
wagers?
I'm going to ask a question.
Are you witty, Steve?
These three are going to put their best guess on their little chalkboards, personal chalkboards.
You can't see, but we'll write it
They're
on here
tiny.
big.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they're going to put it from least to greatest on the big chalkboard.
Least will be number one for you out there.
So if we guess like 13, that'd go there.
And then You guys, the people on their team. So on Steve's team, we have Gabriella, Colton, Nina. Josh, we have Ben, Christian, Jack.
Jack Thompson.
Zach's team, we have Bella, Jed, and Ashley. You guys are going to go through, put in your best guess, and that's what we're going to write on the board. Whoever is closest to the answer
good things.
without going over wins.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Without going over, that's super important. Jed is Jedi, by the way. Like Luke Skywalker.
Jedi.
Jedi.
I call him Jed. Sorry,
I
Jed.
call him
I mean, you
Jedediah.
keep calling him Jed. I guess that works.
I'm going to call him Jed.
You are the moderator.
That-
And guys, just so
Ricky has
you
final
know,
authority.
we've never seen any of these questions before, and they're ridiculous. They're all numbered questions. We probably won't get the answers right. So my team, you don't necessarily have to trust my answer. If you think Steve got it, then you're going to type in, like if Steve's here on number 2 and his answer's there, then put number 2. Look, I don't care if you back me. I just want to win. All right? So that means you got to get points by where your sticky notes are on the board. All right.
I have a very specific strategy. It's to guess low. So my team, you know what to do.
I'm going to guess lower.
Yeah,
We got
negative
one
7.
number above you.
All
I can't
right,
go
here
lower
we
than
go.
87. That
The
just bottomed
first
out.
question for you three. In degrees Fahrenheit, what is the highest surface temperature ever recorded?
Surface
All right, I
temperature.
know, and you guys can type answers in the
Surface
chat too. I mean, we
temperature?
can't see them, but
Wait, I need clarification.
On Earth?
No
on
Google,
Earth,
though.
like include the sun.
On Earth, or
It just leaves it. In degrees Fahrenheit, what is the highest surface temperature ever recorded?
all right. Yeah, I got it.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on this one, guys.
okay. So do I show you?
Yeah, you show me. Josh, you got yours?
Yes.
You said you were going low.
That is low.
Josh said
99,999.
99999.
You said 6,058.
Well, if there's a sun.
And I
If
say
there is a sun.
232. Now remember, it's the closest without going over. So if the answer is 6,059, this would not be right, and I would still be right.
Wait.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's any over.
It's
yeah.
any over. So you guys make sure you type below Ricky now. Go ahead and type in
Where you
what
think you
number you
belong.
think it is.
And it
we'll-
is just, I only want the people to type who are playing this game
And
for
look,
right now.
we don't need these answers, guys. You just type 1, 2, or 3. So if you think 232, you'll type 1. If you think 6,058, you'll type 2. And if you think 9,999, type 3.
That's me, guys.
This, I don't like this question.
All
You don't like
right.
this question?
It's too vague. Like, is it
All right,
surface
guys.
temperature?
All right, what we got?
Earth?
All right. Bella Robinson said 1.
Yeah. Good job,
Jed
Bella.
said 1.
Yeah, good job, Jed.
Interesting.
Christian said 3.
Thank you.
Christian.
Jack,
Oh, my marker.
Jack said 1.
Okay.
Gabby said 1.
Uh-huh.
Ben said 1.
Wow. We could get some points.
What else?
Anything else?
Who else were we
Colton,
missing?
Anita?
Colton Baker, it said 2.
Okay.
Bold.
Still missing Nina and Ashley Flowers.
Okay.
Or
Nina.
Ashley
Nina.
or Tyler, whichever
Come on,
one you
Nina.
Oh,
are.
Ashley said 1.
She said 1.
Are we sure it's Ashley?
Might be Tyler.
I really
or
think it's
either
Tyler.
way, Ashley and Tyler. Great job.
And
hang out
Nina
together.
said 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you guys might have just copied other people, and what if the answer is 3 and Christian got it? Ricky, what is
not
what is
3.
the answer?
The answer. It was recorded in El Azizia, Libya, in September 1922. It is 136 degrees Fahrenheit.
We all are wrong.
What happened?
All right, if everyone's wrong, then I think it's the
clean.
lowest. I think it's this one right here. So team Blue would get 3 points.
He just said it was that because it's his team.
Yeah,
That's
it was-
true. Well, we can't have no one get it, Josh.
Who was
you
on Team
Killjoy?
Blue? Is that Steve's team?
Yeah.
No, Zach's team blue.
That's my
Oh,
team.
no.
Hey, look, we happen
That's
to be
fine.
one in the lead.
Christian,
That's
you
close
have
enough.
to
Yeah, that's
vote
our
for
house rules. It'll be good from now on, too. It's
close enough.
999.
Okay.
All right, it was close enough. You guys weren't
was
even
sad.
remotely close.
It never
Why would you
clarified.
think?
You just
Why
said
would you think
surface.
6,000 degrees?
The
The
sun.
sun. What is the surface?
So
of the
much
sun?
squabbling.
but it was,
okay.
on Earth.
They
On-
never said Earth.
Earth.
Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
I'm listening.
Yes, sir.
time for the next question.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. These are for just these 3 guys. You guys can answer in the chat. Here we go.
Okay.
MySpace. Do you guys remember MySpace?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
I like
Officially
MySpace.
launched in November 2003.
Oh, that kind.
How many members account did it have worldwide by the end of 2006?
So
Yep,
3
got it.
years after it launched?
Yeah.
So this is before you guys were born, probably.
No, I was alive.
2006.
2006.
Okay,
How many
internet.
members did
It
they
was
have in
before I was alive.
2006?
I was 7.
You were 7 in 2006?
Yeah.
No, you were not.
1999. I'm a 90s baby.
You're barely a 90s baby. You're
it's
like,
a decade.
no. All right, what you guys got? Write your answers
I don't
down.
know. Okay.
That's the whole point. We're not supposed to know. We just guess.
I got it.
I got it too. I got it right on.
6 followers.
Okay. What did you say?
6.
6.
I don't think they started off hot, man.
You said
3
6.
It's MySpace.
All right,
3
Steven, you said 5 mil?
5 mil.
Okay.
What?
I say 32 mil.
No.
No, this
Josh,
was the
you're
Facebook
totally
of
wrong.
the time.
That was the first Facebook. It's going to be like 800 million. I don't
Okay,
know.
gentlemen.
Don't listen to me
know.
if you're on Josh's team or Steve's team. If you're on my team, you know what to pick. All right, go ahead and type your answers in.
Let's see. Okay, right below me,
second-guessing
guys. Here we go.
You should second guess 6.
Mil. At 6 mil.
You say
All right,
no.
Hey,
What we got?
Ricky.
Gentlemen, Ben says 2. Nina says 2. Christian says 3.
Christian just stays there.
Gabby says 2. Ashley Flowers says 2. Bella says 3. Jack Thompson says 2. Colton Baker says 2.
We're looking for Jedi.
Jed says 1.
He says what?
1.
Thank you. Let's
Hey,
go.
I got 1 on every category. I can't lose.
That's
but I
literally-
kind of can.
My chance is so much higher. You have the range
I
between
take the
6
lead.
and 5 million.
I take the
Like,
lead if I win.
All right, Ricky, what's
but
the
also
answer?
5 to 32 million.
On an average day back in 2006.
Oh, it was an average day?
No,
We did not hear that part of the question.
That's
No,
so
that's not
many
that's not
things.
the that's not the
Okay,
question.
good.
It's just a little fun fact, a little nugget.
Fluctuation doesn't happen on average
MySpace is the
days.
world's 5th most visited site back in 2006. It had 140 million people. 140 million
I'm still
accounts.
correct. You guys, you got to trust
Wow.
me on this, man. I was so close. I was only 110 million off. So Blue gets 1 more point. We're at 4. Good job, Bella.
Oh, no.
Christian gets a point.
Done.
Steven gets no points.
Steven gets 0 points.
I'm done with this game.
All right.
Jed,
Where we
Josh
at?
said 6, and he still got a point. I feel like he should lose a point.
I
Jedi,
established.
Jedi just told me that
range.
dinosaurs were from back then. 2006.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jedi.
Wow.
Good way to
Like
look out
that.
for your teammate.
That was my
was-
prime.
I may or
time.
not have had a MySpace. I was
you
cool
really?
too. Yeah, my senior year of high
I was
school.
not
I
allowed
was
to
on
have
MySpace.
MySpace when I was
Dude.
9 years old.
On to the next, gentlemen. Here we go. How many 2-letter English words are acceptable in the game of Scrabble? How many 2-letter English words
Oh, I know this one.
are acceptable in the game of Scrabble? Write your answers
Words
in the
with
chat.
friends.
Let's see.
Yeah, channel your inner words with friends, Josh.
Digging deep there.
Oh, I don't know. All right,
99,999.
I'm just gonna go for it.
What you got, Steve? All right. What you got, Josh?
2,362.
Okay, Josh says 2,362.
There's probably so 2.
I say 421. And
I
Steve
don't think I'm right on
says
this.
34.
34.
I can't think of more than 34 words.
I can think of 34 right now.
Wait.
At, to, by. That's 3 letters.
Yeah.
Ricky.
No, there's by,
Go.
B-Y.
All right.
Yeah, people
Bye.
like-
Like by,
Sigh.
Ricky.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
by,
guys.
Exactly.
Here we go.
I-
Type under my dots.
X
Let's
eyes
see.
word.
Here we go.
There's
Here we
So
go.
1 is 34, 2 is 421, 3 is
I'm looking good.
2,362.
I'm looking good.
There's 24
Look at the
letters.
gap.
No.
Look at that.
Your team has 2 points.
All right,
Steve.
here we go. Bella says 1.
Scoreboard. Who says 1? Sorry.
Bella says 1. Nicole
Okay.
Baker says 2. Jed says
Choose the
1.
safe one to go.
Christian says 2.
Good job, Christian.
Oh, Christian moved.
And then we have Ashley Flowers with 1.
Ben, Jack, I think 2.
Jack Thompson says 3.
Okay.
Nina says 2.
Jack, I don't think it's more
Allison
than that.
/ Ben says 2. And Colton Baker says 2. Gabby says 2.
Hey, what did Bella,
Bella
say
said
again?
3? Oh, no.
Bella said 1.
I didn't catch that one.
Bella said 1.
Bella said 1.
Okay.
That's safe.
Oh, that's my whole team. You better be right, Steven.
Oh,
no.
Now remember, if it's less than 34, which is like 0
This is our chance to
I would just
catch
get 3
up.
points.
34 to 421 is such a huge
That's a
gap.
big gap. What's the answer, Ricky?
The answer is 101.
Oh, my God.
Yes!
That's a huge
Team
Mad.
Blue.
Mad at
They
all you
literally
right
got
now.
You
us
guys
up
are killing
so
I
it.
know my
far.
stuff, all right? See how close I was? I was the closest answer.
Hey, we're only playing 8 questions, by the way.
I'm really not helping competition.
How good would
with
it
my
have been if
guesses.
I was like, we're only playing 3 questions, by the way?
Dude, you would've been
So we got 5 questions left.
mad.
You guys still got plenty of time to catch up. 5 more questions, Ricky.
All
What's
right.
what's our next one?
This
Literally,
one is
we have to
great.
Stomp them.
How many eggs does the average American eat per year?
How many eggs?
How many eggs?
I ate 470 by myself.
EGGS. How many eggs?
The average
470.
American eats per year.
That's 1.25 a day.
I'm not an average American.
Steve, Nina says you guys aren't doing great.
You are not.
I'm trying, Nina. I'm not the one
How many-
answering.
wait,
How
You
many
are.
average
A day?
average American eats per year?
Per year, okay.
The
I
average
own
American.
chickens. Well, my parents
Well,
own chickens.
how many eggs do you eat a day, guys? I eat like
But
2.
you're not eating eggs every day.
These
I
guys
eat
are
eggs
thinking
every day.
I eat 2 every other day,
500,
probably.
111, 340, over 90,000.
9.
All right, what we got?
What's Steven do? 30?
No, he said. All right, you can't look at his answer, Josh. You got to have yours.
Oh, I'm not ready.
All right, Josh, what'd you say?
230.
Josh says 230. I said 80. I say 82. That's slot 1. Steven says 365.
One a day, baby.
What a day.
An egg a day assures
know,
you'll die
man.
10 years
There's
before
like
your time.
6
It's a happy
eggs just
Wait,
in one
no,
omelet.
maybe not. Eggs are good for you.
Maybe it's a stressful chicken.
It depends
that
on
you
what
want a day.
seasoning is hot that year. You know,
All
like
right.
What?
dude, if it's like
What we got, Ricky?
All right, here we go. We're going to see what our
Yes,
type
he's the
below
belted.
my line.
Wait,
Jed,
what'd you say? Say
Jed
again.
says 2. Nina says 3. Get those typing, guys. Let's
This-
see them.
this is the
Ashley
first time I've-
Flowers says 2. Gabby
First time I've
says
been on
2.
2.
Christian says 3. Bella says 3. Christian, you do not have to spam the chat.
they need to know it's 3 though.
Ben says
on.
2. Jack Thompson says 2.
Gosh.
Colton Baker says 2.
Wait,
I'm looking for Jedi.
Christian, change
Oh,
your answer.
Jedi
He
did
can't change his answer.
3's not safe.
2.
He says
How do
2.
you know?
All right.
I don't think you're right.
No one
man.
said my answer.
Good.
No one said 1, Ricky.
I'm sorry, man.
What is it?
I'm
What is
sorry,
it? What
too.
is it?
I'd be right.
What
I'd be
is
right
it?
with it.
I've been
All
right
right.
every time.
All right, the answer is. Now, this is a very exact number.
All right.
253.9 eggs.
No way.
I get 2
Oh.
points. I get 2 points.
Steven, I was right, dude.
We all got 2 points, Steven.
Wait, what?
We all have 2 points.
Christian
It's not fun.
needed you.
Nina, you tried. I still appreciate all you.
We're catching up. They had 7, now we have 5.
Currently,
And
yellow
they now
has
have
4, pink has 5, and the dominant team has 9.
No,
9. Wonder who's dominant.
4 questions left. Blue team, hang on to this
Oh,
lead.
it's like 4.
Don't be a Golden State Warriors here, guys. We're not blowing a 3-1 lead. Okay.
All right, here we
Ricky,
go.
What's next?
You guys are going to like this one.
Will we?
How many cups of coffee
Oh, I do like that.
does the average American drink per year? Write your answers in the chat. Per year.
Oh,
How
I
many
It better
saw
cups?
not be
this.
more than the eggs.
What was eggs? 251?
250. You think it's more cups per coffee? Is a cup 4 ounces or 8 ounces or 12 ounces? Ricky?
It just
Wait,
says cups.
Is it a venti
I'm
or
gonna
a
say
grande
above.
or a small?
Does cup
Oh.
like infer that like it could be a venti or a grande, or is a cup like actually the 4 ounces?
I don't know.
I got it.
Don't pretend like you have any idea what this answer
Well,
is.
that's going to determine whether I put 130 or
What'd you put?
830.
830.
No,
Josh
no,
says
I'm not doing-
830.
No, 230.
All right, Josh says 230.
I don't know what kind of cups it is.
I say 171 because I know you guys can see this. Steven, you said?
100.
Steven says 100.
oh gosh, this is the closest we've been.
All right, everybody type your answers below mine. Here we go. Let's see
Team
it.
Josh, go for 2. I think it's safe.
No, it's not.
All right, here we
Who
go.
put that, Steve? Or Zach?
No,
yeah,
I'm
100.
100.
All right.
Gabby says 3. Bella says 3. Christian says 3 7 times in a
Go
row.
in your pen.
Hucked it at you,
Colton
man.
Baker says 1. Jed says 3.
Don't touch it.
Nina says 3. Jack Thompson says 2. Ben says 3. Ashley Flowers says 3.
It's the most
What
votes
did
I've
Ashley
ever
Flowers
gotten.
say?
3.
All right, everyone's on 3.
Oh, no.
Come on.
I hope
3.
it's 1.
I
Just
hope
so
you
I
got
get
it,
a point
Steve.
no one else can.
Or
don't think-
Josh, I hope you got this one.
All right, are
hope
you guys
it's
ready?
2.
We're ready.
The answer. The U.S. consumes far less coffee per person than does each Scandinavian country. There's your nugget for the day.
Well, that's because it's really cold up there. They need lots of coffee.
They gotta
US?
stay warm. All right, the answer. 393.6
man.
cups of coffee per year.
We all just got 2 points.
Team Blue.
Oh, no,
You
Zach
got
got
Team
3.
Blue. Oh, Team Blue. You guys,
I'm so proud of
I'm so proud of you.
everyone, even Colton. You're doing great.
Colton's over here with 100. That's okay,
It's
It's
Colton.
okay. He's doing great. He's
It's okay.
believing in me.
Man.
I appreciate
All right.
that.
5
Hey,
points
we got
behind.
3 questions left, and I've got a
Come on, guys.
5-point
Wow.
lead on second place, guys.
Come on, guys.
All right.
Let's beat Josh.
Oh, wait,
I'm
but
happy.
who's in second place?
Scoreboard.
Who's in last place?
You're
No
up
question.
by
Hey, in the
one.
wise words of the amazing poet, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. Ricky, next question, please.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
All right, here we go. In miles. No, wait, this is what I want. Hold on. Here we go. Restart. How many U.S. states have less than 1 million people? How many U.S. states have less than 1 million people?
Less than 1
How many people live in Missouri?
2.
Two people live in Missouri. There
same
was
amount
3,
of
then
teeth
Ricky
they have.
moved.
Ricky
Do you
moved.
count the cows?
There's now 2. What's the population of the states? Isn't like are we up into 400
That million?
millions in the states?
In
So,
our
yeah.
state?
Oh, you mean in
No,
all the
the
United
states.
States?
Yeah, like
It's like
400
400 million.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a clue. It's between 1 and 50.
Good clue, Ricky.
You know what?
Thank you. I do what I can.
57. 57, Steve. All right, guys, write your answers down.
Oh, I actually took his
What you
hint
got?
so seriously. 3.
I said 3.
No way.
No way.
What?
I'm
No
changing.
way.
I'm changing.
No,
No,
you can't change it.
You said
We established
20.
it.
Steve says 20. I'm going to say 5 just to make it interesting.
I want to do 6.
I hope it's only 1. And then
I
the
want to
3
do
gets
6 now.
it. It's going to be 6. All right.
I just need everyone
All
to
right.
know that I actually took Ricky's hint. As
All right,
1 to
write your
50 super
answers
seriously.
below.
I was
my
like,
dots.
oh gosh.
Wait, Ricky, hold on. Before you say these answers,
Oh,
Josh, I don't know if you guys caught this. Josh really did take Ricky's
I
hint
actually-
seriously.
it was
He had to
like-
contemplate 1 to 50
I was like, oh my gosh.
as a hint. Ricky, go for it.
all right, we got
15
Ben
there.
says 2. Christian says 2 again
Bold.
for
My-
7 times in a
my team
row.
picked 2.
You think that joke gets old, but it doesn't.
It doesn't?
Jedi says 3. Bella says 2.
Who's on my
Nina
team?
says 2.
Where's the
Colton
other
Baker
guy?
says 1. Ashley Flowers says 1.
Colton.
Jack Thompson says 1. Gabby says
Jack,
3.
no.
Gabby says what?
We all have to be
3.
together.
No!
3. All right. Steve, you're all spread
I
out.
hope it's 3.
The only one that can gain is here.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right.
We need it to be 2.
Here we
What's
go.
the answer?
The answer is Montana, Delaware, North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska, Vermont, and Wyoming. That means 7 states.
Yes.
I would have won.
Oh, you
got
actually
6
got
points.
one.
Yeah.
Steve, you gained it. Or no, Josh
We
gained
gained-
a
we
lead.
gained 1, yeah.
Wait, no, who's pink?
I'm
Josh
pink.
is pink.
Oh, Josh gained a
I
point.
tough guys wear pink. Is that how it goes? Tough men wear pink.
So 9.
I
7.
failed
And you
you
have
all.
13.
We only
I
have
didn't-
2 questions left.
Most likely did
My
not
team has a
pass geography.
4-point lead, Josh.
Yeah, we can get 6 points.
You could.
All right. Wait, 4 points? Oh, no matter what. Okay, pink team, you just got to stay in a cluster. I think that's the only way we can actually
Or
win this.
you'll lose that way.
But yeah,
and
yeah,
then
it's-
Steven
yeah.
will pass
I'm
you.
gonna
I don't
pass
care.
you
Do you
up.
want to lose to Steven? Look at him.
I don't know if they saw his actual face.
That's,
Back,
was
can we zoom
actually
in on
really
Steven's
funny.
face?
that's a low blow, man. That's a low blow.
He made the best face ever. All right,
All
what we got?
right, here we go. In what year was Pluto discovered?
Discovered or rejected as a planet?
Discovered.
Just gone through so
What
much.
year was Pluto
I
discovered?
definitely watched a TED Talk on this like 3 years ago.
All right, all right.
But that's not going to help
I
right
totally.
What are you-
also
what are you
did
picking,
not
Josh?
Watch a TED Talk.
now. 19.
Nope. You gotta give different.
Oh, I
answers.
can't say it out loud?
You can say it out loud. Yeah, not until you.
I don't know. Oh.
1908.
All right.
You got. Is that an 18?
Yes.
All right, that's a little bit more normal. I thought you said 1070. I was like, no, Steven. I say 33 AD. Jesus discovered it.
pointed to the
He pointed to the sky. Hit the ascension.
Call this shot.
He called this shot. It's like I'm headed to Pluto. That's where heaven is.
Pluto.
That's bad theology. Don't listen to me.
1933.
What you said? 1933.
1933.
That's awesome because I said 1931.
That's
No, you did not.
So which
loaded.
means don't pick this one unless the answer is 1932. You should probably pick Josh's. What'd you put, Steve?
1890.
1890. Those are close.
Yeah.
If we're all wrong, remember that number 1 gets
no, this has nothing to do with
Can
it.
you tell us a hint? Who discovered it? Which country?
No.
Does it say?
I
Does it say?
cannot.
it. It was me.
It was Zach Talbert.
All right, go ahead. Type your answers, guys.
All right, here we go. Right below. Here we go.
It was Neil Armstrong when he got
All
up
right.
to the moon. He just
Nina
like,
says
peering
1.
over. He's like, dude, what's that, man? Where'd that star come from?
Josh,
Josh, you're ruining the reveal.
we gotta go.
Bella says 2. Ashley Flowers says 2. Christian says 2.
Why are you saying 2? We're gonna lose.
Bella says 2.
Why?
No.
Wait,
yes.
they may or may not have Google search this. Colton Baker says 1. Jed says
That's
1.
cheating, yo.
You guys are such cheaters. Lame.
And who else? What else? Who else do we need?
Jack, Gabby, and Ben.
Jack, Gabby, and Ben. Gabby says 1.
We have to do it.
Ben. What
I
is
hope
he?
it's 1.
Ben said 2.
I hope it's 1.
Jack?
Jack says 2.
Please be 1.
Oh, man.
If it's 1.
If it's 3, we all lose.
1.
Okay.
1. 1.
All right,
is it?
gentlemen. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union ruled that Pluto is no longer considered a planet, but it was discovered in 1930.
1930! Oh, no! That was so close. Steven, with the epic comeback, jumps to 10.
team.
Good job, Jedi.
My team.
You're still in there. Wow. I think Steven's team just Googled it. Hey, guys,
No.
this is an integrity thing. You can't Google it.
What was it
I
at?
did not.
19
It's
what?
1930. I was
1930.
close. Good for me. Good for me. All right, hey,
darn it.
Hey, Steve, guess what?
What?
My team had 14 points.
Is this the last round?
This is the last round.
I doesn't matter. I'm going to be him.
No,
Yeah.
8.
So, hey, blue team, you have won. Congratulations. This is just for our victory lap, and this is for pride between yellow and pink.
If
We can't
my
lose.
team beats Josh, I will
We'll fall over.
personally deliver a candy bar to your house.
All right.
All right, here we
If
go.
my team
I don't
beats
have any
Josh.
promises. Just get it right.
All right,
Watch Steven cry.
gentlemen,
That's all this is for.
how many ridges?
Ridges?
Ridges.
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 Ruffles have ridges
On a Reese's cup.
Ridges are on the outside of a dime.
on the outside of a dime.
How many ridges are on the outside of a
10,
dime?
'cause a
Don't
dime's worth
cheat,
10.
people.
Yeah,
Don't
no Googling.
cheat.
That's lame.
Put your wallet away,
No, I don't have any
Steve. He's
coins.
like,
I don't have any coins.
Steven's trying to check a dime. All right, what we got, boys? What we got? No Googling out there. That's
Can't-
lame.
This is so hard to write with the mic.
Jesus is watching.
80,
You Googlers. What we got?
Oh.
70, 76.
You say 76.
76.
Okay. Josh says 76.
Think about it.
Steven says 45.
1776. What happened, Steve?
Zach says
1776.
22.
That is the day
Yeah.
that.
No, trust me, I was a history
The
teacher.
dime was
1776 is when Pluto was discovered.
What?
We just learned
Dinosaurs
it.
like went
that?
extinct.
We just learned it. All right, Ricky, we're ready.
1830.
All right.
Number 1 is
1930.
22, 2 is 45, 3 is 76.
Oh, so
Everybody
much
put
pressure.
your answers. Christian Beeman says 3.
Scramble the Jets.
Bella says 3. Colton Baker says 1. Nina says 2.
Oh, God.
Ben says 3. Ashley Flowers says 3.
Do we know if Ashley?
Jack
I
Thompson
don't think we know
says
yet.
3.
I feel like she would've
Jed
commented by
says
now.
3. Who else we need?
This
Colton Baker
is
and Gabby.
Ashley.
Colton and who?
Colton Baker and Gabby.
Gabby
Steve,
says
Look,
2.
it's an L for loser for you.
Gabby says 2, and we're looking for Colton Baker. Where are you?
That's my team.
He said 1.
Oh!
If
So if
it's
it's
not
3,
3,
If it's 3,
I don't know what's happening.
if it's 3, then Josh's team gets second place,
I definitely think it's more
and
than
my team
76.
gets entrenched in first place. All right, what's the answer, Ricky?
The answer. There are 119 ridges on the outside of a quarter.
Oh!
But there are 118 on a dime.
Oh, that means that blue team with 17 points,
And
pink team with 12 points,
And what about yellow?
and yellow has 10 points.
What are you writing on your arm?
their names.
Oh, so you can go like instead of
So
doing
instead
a
of
candy bar,
throwing
it's
at
like
them a candy bar, you can like give them like a lump of
Newspaper.
coal.
a newspaper that has the date of Pluto's discovery.
Yes.
Wait, they got that one right though.
You should go deliver dimes to their house so they always remember their day that they
All
won.
right.
Ricky, thank you for hosting that amazing game that obviously we all knew Blue Team was going to
Do
win
what
at
I
the
can.
time. Congratulations, Blue
Thank you.
Team.
Good job,
I
guys.
didn't actually have any faith in you whatsoever, but you proved me right. So, wrong. That's what I meant. Hey, we're going to transition to our message for tonight. And so I'm going to pray for us, and we'll switch over again. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Stick around after the message. We got a pretty important announcement for you. So we'll do that right after Josh's talk. So let me pray. God, thank you so much for this day, for this chance to be here together, to play games together, to have fun together. Would you just be with us tonight as we hear and open your word and give us great discussions in your Zoom groups afterwards. Amen.
Awesome, guys. Hey, again, we are jumping into a series called Practicing the Way. You kind of saw the bumper video for it, which basically expresses this whole idea that Jesus gave us a way to follow, a way of life that we can jump in and follow and suit almost. And we've been talking about meditation and obedience, reading your Bible, and just a lot of different things that we saw Jesus do. And tonight we're actually going to be talking about a little bit of community. But before we get into that, if you are just jumping into our youth group live, thank you guys so much for being here. We are so stoked that you've been able to play some games with us, been able to jump on and see us on a regular basis, and it just makes us super excited to see you. So thanks again for watching. If I haven't met you yet, my name is Josh McEwen. I'm the high school director, but I sometimes get to engage with you guys as middle schoolers. So a little bit about myself, for those of you that don't know. I'm into this little thing called rock climbing. Some of you guys have probably seen it in gyms before or whatever. There's actually two different types of climbing. There's one, well, there's a lot more than two. There's a ton, but two specifically. The first one is called top roping, which you've probably seen before. It's where you have a rope attached to the top of the rock, and there's like someone down below, and they kind of hoist you up, and you can climb as they're hoisting you up. And there's a second one, which is a lot more sketchier. That's called sport climbing or lead climbing, where basically there's a bunch of little anchor points up on the rock as you climb up, and each anchor point you can climb up to, attach yourself to with a like double-sided carabiner, and then climb to the next one, climb to the next one. And what's really sketchy about it is, say you're like, get to this bolt, and you go to the next one, like up above, it could be like 6 feet above, and if you fall, instead of only falling like a foot, you can kind of get sketchy over there, you actually would fall the double, so you can fall 12 feet. It's ridiculously scary. And with that in mind, one thing that I did kind of just naively, and just do not recommend this, I took some unexperienced climbers to a very hard route called the Citadel in the Pinnacles National Park. And this route was like 380 feet. In fact, we got a picture of it with a separate buddy in this picture. I don't know if you can see it right now. But so on that picture, on the one side, you can see the face of it. It's 380 feet tall, just shy of 400. On the other side, you can actually see like looking down from the rock face towards the tiny little trees below, hanging off the side, climbing this peak. And that's a separate time, not the time that I took the naively experience. So that's the picture of the rock. Basically on this thing, I took 4 guys, or 3 guys, there's 4 of us total, and we didn't really know what we were doing, or I did, and these other guys kind of were still figuring out. They weren't the most experienced climbers. And I actually found out later on that as we were climbing, that some of them didn't even know how to lead climb, or this was their first time ever doing it. And that was extremely scary, considering we had already gone a couple 100 feet up, and we were already kind of in the mess of it and had to keep going. Another instance, I found out that one of the guys, as we were getting ready to lower, didn't even know how to rappel correctly. And so we had to like teach him on the go. And what it had created was a ton of disunity on this climb. There was a lot of like indecisiveness, trying to figure out like who actually knows what we're doing. Like we're talking like the matter of like walking down this mountain very safely and securely like a good climber, as opposed to like slipping and ending up like a pancake at 100 or 300 feet below. And so it was actually a really annoying and difficult situation that took us like 6 hours to get all the way to the top and all the way back down. And compare that to the other side, where I went with more experience, a guy that has been climbing for about 7 years, and I had been climbing for about 5, so the total experience was like 12 years between us. We got up there and down in about 30 minutes. Compare that to 6 hours. And it's insane, because it's like, you actually picture this whole thing. Like us crew on this side, the 4 of us, even though we weren't experienced, but we had a lot of disunity, like we survived. We made it okay. But unlike my buddy on the other side that actually had experience, we knew what we were doing, we had unity, we actually thrived. And the thing that gets me really excited about this, and that I can kind of see, is this whole thing, this experience kind of relates a lot to our lives as well, specifically to what unity does. Like we said, in that one experience, we didn't really have unity. We were kind of disunified, but we survived. But on the other side, we actually had unity, and we thrived. In the same way, it goes with Christian community. If there's disunity, you might just get by, but if there's actual unity, you will thrive. In fact, the biggest point that we're talking about tonight is a thriving life is one that has community. Maybe you've experienced that yourself. Think back, even wherever you're at right now, watching while you're like in a car, or watching at your home, or just on your computer. Like, think back to a time that maybe you walked into a building, walked into a home, a classroom, and felt radically loved, and also radically like known and fully appreciated and valued. I would imagine there's a huge correlation between that right there and the unity that you feel to thriving in that experience. I know for me, there's a family, like aunt and uncle that we'd always visit, and the moment I would walk into that room, not only did I feel so loved, but I felt so known, which just allowed me to thrive in that community every single time. It was like going to Disneyland when I was a kid. And so with that in mind, that's the same exact thing that could happen in the Christian community if we let it. And I don't know about you, but I can't really tell who's watching and what the expressions may be, but maybe there's some of you that have tried this whole community thing, have tried the whole friend group thing, and based off of an experience or maybe something that had happened, an event or a situation, it definitely didn't leave you feeling like you were thriving, but maybe you had a distaste, a distrust, or a hurt or a pain when it came to this idea of being in community. And if that's you, I really hope that you can stick around for the rest of this message, because I think the words of Jesus and also just the bare minimum idea of what community means could actually show us that experience, maybe there's more to community than just what had happened. And to understand that, like I said, we've been going through this series called Practicing the Way. And one of the things that Jesus did all the time, and something that we could definitely like overlook and sometimes skip right over, is the fact that Jesus was constantly, all the time, in community. Finding these disciples that he spent time with, hanging out with them, breaking bread with them, fellowshipping with them, and allowed them to kind of carry that same torch and building a community of their own. And I think that's because Jesus knew that a thriving life is one that's lived in community. And how do we know this? We have to actually, forgot to mention this in the beginning, but if you do have your Bible with you, open up to the book of John, which is one of the Gospels, and chapter 17, verses 20 to 23. Again, that's the book of John, chapter 17, verses 20 to 23. And as you're looking at that, let me give you some context that's kind of happening there. This is the night that Jesus is betrayed and ends up right before his crucifixion, right before he ends up the next day killed and crucified and executed in the most inhumane way possible. And he's basically praying for the disciples. He's in a room, he's praying for his disciples that he'd been speaking into and empowering for the last 3 years. And it's really crazy because the night before Jesus' execution, this is what he says. This is what he hopes for. This is what he longs for these disciples. Again, if you're following along, it's John chapter 7, verse 20. He says, Jesus, my prayer is not for them alone, speaking of the disciples. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us so that the world may believe that they have sent me. I want to kind of break that down a little bit so we can kind of really let that sink in. So if you have your Bibles open, kind of follow along as I read it. The first thing that Jesus says is, my prayer is not for them alone. Well, what does that mean? Basically, Jesus, as we said, is like praying for the disciples, but he says it's more than just them. It's more than just the 12. In fact, he says, I pray for those also who believe in me through their message. Well, 2,000 years ago, Jesus is having this prayer, overlooking the disciples and saying, whoever believes in Jesus and follows this way of Jesus, even after those 12, he's praying for them. And if you want to follow the ripple effect of these disciples, that eventually lands towards us, those who are choosing to follow the way of Jesus now. So Jesus is not just praying specifically for them, but he's also praying for us. And he establishes that right in that first verse. Verse 21 says that they all may be one. So Jesus is saying, okay, be one, as in a collective group. He's basically praying for community, coming together in unity. But he does something really cool when he says it. He says that they all may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us so that the world may believe they have sent me. Think about that. The idea that Jesus says, make them one like you and I are one. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I read my Bible, I can totally glance over that. I can just skim right through that and not realize the implications and the hugeness of what Jesus' words are. Jesus is literally praying that they could be one as him and the Father are one. There's something in the Christian circle that's called the Trinity, which is a huge thing that basically defines Christianity from other religions. It's the idea that God is three in one. There's Father, there's the Son, and there's the Holy Spirit. And we're actually invited into that same similar relationship. Even though they're distinct parts, they're all one. I mean, think about it. Like, you can't get more unified than the Trinity. Like when Christians reference God, they're referencing all three parts of him, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And Jesus is saying, I want the disciples, I want these 12, and whoever follows afterward to be one as we are one. And that is a ridiculously powerful prayer. And think of the word Trinity itself. Tri, meaning three, and then unity, triune, God. There's this radical sense of unity where they can be fully known, fully loved, and they always know what's going on with each other. Jesus prays that specific relationship, that community relationship over us today. I think that's actually crazy. And kind of like I said, maybe some of you could hear that, and I could even hear that, and I can wonder, like, okay, like, but what about this whole experience that I had with community that wasn't the best? Well, if that's the case and you kind of land in that camp, which I know some of us probably can, I'll teach you guys something called reframing, which basically means anytime that we have a thought that might be dysfunctional or counter to the way of God, that could be a dysfunctional idea, which those can slip in super quickly. And if we let them take root, it could cause us to feel stuck. It could cause us to like not have momentum in our life, especially in our Christian walk. We can reframe those ideas. And luckily, the way of Jesus allows us to take time to be introspective and take those in and actually reframe those thoughts to something that's more according to his will. And so like a dysfunctional idea, the first one that we could see in the realm of community is my experiences with community was negative, therefore community itself is negative. Again, that's the first dysfunctional idea that we can have towards community is my experience with community was negative, therefore community as a whole is negative. Yet the way of Jesus would teach us to reframe that and say community is formed around love, mission, and being empowered. Therefore, I should seek these three things with like-minded people. The dysfunctional idea number two that could happen is I don't need community. I can live totally fine on my own. Which that kind of relates to the whole rock climbing story that we told earlier. Like, I don't need community. I can live totally fine on my own. And the reframing of that is like, yeah, you actually can. You can survive on your own, but you won't fully thrive. Being unified creates that difference of being kind of surviving versus thriving. And I don't know, I feel like I've heard that from students even before with social media. Like, I don't really need community. I got the social, like I got Instagram, I got TikTok, like that's enough. But we even could kind of just look at that and be like, yo, bro, that's not actually real. You're not being fully known and fully loved in that community. You can just easily put up a fake self and hide behind that, not expressing who you really are. See, the community that Jesus talks about is one that is fully, where you can come in and be fully known and fully loved. And that's something I've kind of been touching on kind of throughout this message. I want to unpack those two terms a little bit more. To be fully known means to actually come forward, be able to put all your stuff on the table, like whatever you are. If you're going through something hard, you're able to express that. If you're going through something that's awesome, you can express that too. Or maybe something that you fall into a bad habit, you can put that on the table too. And while being fully known, the community around you still fully loves you. And that's exactly how the Trinity is. And that's the community that Jesus calls us to if we want to thrive fully in life. There's this really cool after effect that kind of happens too if we're in the right kind of community. See, if we come into the community kind of like self-centered, like we want to just build it for ourselves or whatever, it's not going to be the true community that Jesus calls us to. See, in John 15:13, Jesus actually says, "The greater love has no man than this, that the man lays down his life for his friends." See, the community that Jesus calls us into is one that is sacrificial, one where we follow the way of Jesus in the same way he picked up a cross, actually laid his life down for us, and is able to sacrifice on behalf for others. So this love, according to Jesus, is sacrificial. And here's the kind of coolest part to wrap it up. The results, like I said, isn't to come into a community so we can actually build ourselves or feel better about ourselves or be able to post something and make ourselves look even cooler than what's actually happening. No, the goal of community is actually something far better than that. This is what Jesus says what happens in the fullness of community. Again, going back to John 17, the last verse in 23 says, "That the world may know that you sent me and I have loved them even as you have loved me." See, the world, once it sees a thriving community, a community that is fully knowing each other and fully loving each other still, the world can look at that and be like, there's something so totally different about that community. Like, I want some of that community. Like a really cool quote by Francis Schaeffer, he actually says, "Our relationship with each other, i.e. community, is the criteria the world uses to judge whether this message of Jesus is truthful." He says, Christian community is the final apologetic. The final thing that could show someone like, this is legit. The way that they love each other, the way that they give sacrificially to each other, like that is what can convince people to follow and love Jesus fully. See, I think during our new cultural normal life right now, we've all been given the guidelines on how to survive. Every single one of us knows how to survive. And maybe just get by if we do it right. But I think right now, more than ever, what we really need to do is thrive. And the only way that our lives can actually thrive is if we are in true community. Let's pray real fast and actually allow us to kind of pray that over ourselves as we close. Father, again, I just, I thank you so much that you've given us an example of what community can look like. I pray that we can actually take that to heart. We can have discussions and questions about how we can actually implement that in our own lives and begin to live that out on a daily basis, knowing that the whole center of it is to bring you glory and to bring your gospel even closer to others. Father, as always, we just praise you. We're so thankful for you. So awesome to be able to gather in this way and be able to still be able to express your word and know more about you. And Jesus, we love you. We praise you. In your name, amen. So guys, one thing that Zach did mention is we got a really cool announcement for you guys, kind of actually tail ending the message that I just gave on community. So we're actually going to be able to open it up and kind of discuss it some more. So with that in mind, I want to turn it over to Zach Albert.
Yeah, we moved the chair awkwardly or the table while you were praying, Josh. So, hey, we got a pretty big announcement. Some of you guys know already. But before we get to that, couple quick things. First, because I know that a lot of you were thinking we're going to announce something about Hume, and we're not. Just like last week, we still don't know the final Hume Lake decision yet. If you have a spot for Hume, we still have your deposit. We have your spot. We're going to be emailing your parents tomorrow, and in that email, it will say what we're doing about Hume Lake, by holding the spots and extending the payment deadlines and things like that until we get final notice from Hume. Of course, if your parents have any questions, they can reach out to me or they can reach out to Sarah, who is our amazing coordinator at sarah@abcchurch.org or zach@abcchurch.org. Also, Josh, Steve, and I have been going around and visiting with you guys at your houses, and that's just been awesome. Get to see you in person a little bit and encourage you. And that's open for every single one of our students. So if you haven't received a visit from us and you want to, we haven't reached out to the sixth graders specifically yet. Some of you have reached out to us and seen us, but we want to be going out to your houses and hang out with you. So if your parents are okay with that, we just sit in your yard, talk to you for a while. We got a gift for you. You can email me or email Josh.
We want to see you.
Yeah,
We miss you.
Yeah, if you want to visit from us, it'd be awesome. So our big announcement. We have been loving Youth Night Live. We love seeing you guys on Zoom and everything, but it's just not the same. It's not the same as in person. And so the state has made a recommendation and has allowed for religious services to reconvene, and which means come back to campus with certain restrictions and certain things in place. And obviously with your safety in mind and making sure that we can be as safe as possible, we will be coming back to ABC in 2 weeks. So not next week, which is the 31st, right? No.
Next week is the 2nd.
Yes, that's the one.
My sister's
But
birthday.
June 9th, the following week, so when you get out of school, we're going to do our summer launch here on campus. We're super excited about that. It's going to be Tuesday nights for middle school and for high school, 6 to 8. You guys will be in classrooms all throughout campus.
Spread all around.
In groups of 10 to 15. You get to pick the groups. It's like picking a Hume Lake cabin. There'll be a form for you to fill out. That form will be live on the Linktree starting tomorrow morning. You'll be able to fill that out. And Josh, what do we want out of these groups, and what are we anticipating for these groups? What are our goals?
Yeah, I mean, some of our goals is kind of that same exact thing that I talked about in the message, is that true Christian community is one that is surrounded in three things. That's love, and that's a mission, and that's also being empowered. Like I said in the message, we could love one another, means we can fully know each other, be transparent, and build each other up. But we also have a mission, and that mission is to actually invite our friends, grow these groups, so that our friends could look from the outside in and be like, oh my gosh, there's something different happening at ABC with these groups. And we're actually super stoked on that. And one of the ways that we think that could truly happen is the ownership that you guys have in those groups. One of the ways that you guys get to have ownership is in the specific roles that you will have within those groups. I have a couple right here. One, there'll be an adult leader in each group. That's basically the coach for the group. We're gonna keep it in sports terms because we like sports. And then we'll have a student that's the assistant coach, which basically gets to help lead the Bible study, kind of follow up with questions after these sermons that we'll have posted for you guys. There'll be, after that, there'll be a prayer leader, someone that could keep praises and prayers, be able to lead prayer time afterwards. There'll be a role like a snack king. Zach, the snack king
Snack
is pretty
King's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's exciting.
Because we are, again, there's different restrictions. And so things, just so your parents know, we're going to be doing some Zoom meetings with parents so they can ask any questions they want. But something you can tell them ahead of time. They'll get an email from me tomorrow as well about all of this. But something that you can tell them is we will be socially distancing. So in your classrooms, and we're going to make sure you guys are going to have to follow that if you want to stay and remain part here. You'll be spread out in the classrooms, but you got to be with your friends. There'll be a TV in every classroom like this, and we'll live stream the message and live stream a couple games into the classroom. You can bring prepackaged snacks, and so that's what we say, Snack King. You can't bring a tub of popcorn to share, but
Sorry, Snack King.
if you bring prepackaged Ziploc bags, or even the Snack King could be someone that determines who's bringing snacks.
Yeah,
for the
like
week,
calls
stuff
on
like
them.
that.
Yeah, make sure you bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to unpack the rest of them?
keep
Yeah, I'll
going.
keep them going. There's the social media manager, the SMN. I don't know if you can abbreviate it. That role is basically you want to promote your group. We want groups to be able to have a name, I don't know what's a good team name for your group, Zach.
The Flying Squirrels.
Flying Squirrels. You can name it that, sure. And your social media manager is in charge of like making sure people know what that is. They're all about the flying squirrels, what they do, what they're about. Also, on top of the social media, we need a game leader. So one of you could be in charge of leading games for your groups and planning games, working with Steve and stuff like that on how to have really cool games every single Tuesday night for your group before the message, kind of just hanging out, right?
Yeah, we'll be doing some weekly challenges as well, and just some funny contests that the winning team will announce at the end of the night, and then the following week they get dessert brought to their room, delivered by us.
Doesn't stop. So much.
Yeah,
goodness.
I saw a comment come up in the chat that said, "Hey, social distancing isn't going to work. Nice try," or something sarcastic like that, which probably isn't the right tone for whoever did that, but. That's a good point. They say social distancing won't work. Nice try. Here's what we'd have to say to that. It needs to work, or else this will be done. So if you want to be on campus, you'll respect the rules. If you don't respect the rules, you're gone, and more than likely, you will ruin it for lots of other people. And so whatever rules we set in place, Josh, we do expect you to follow because you're young men and young women, and we're going to treat you as such. So, if we thought you were children, then we wouldn't be doing this. But because you're young men and young women, we respect you enough that we want to try this, and we hope that you'll be able to respect us enough that you'll follow the simple guidelines that we put in place.
Exactly.
As you have other questions, you feel free to ask as they come up. On here, and we'll try to answer a few of them. But again, just so you know, if you show up next week, it's going to be really awkward because it's not happening next week.
No,
you'll
it
be
is
like
not.
locked outside. We'll be running Youth Night Live from in here, but we won't let you in because technically campus is still closed at that point. But the following week, June 9th, we'll be here. There'll be specific drop-off points for middle school rooms. We'll have the middle school rooms figured out by then, the high school rooms figured out by then. But you must sign up for a group. Unless you fill out the waiver that your parents help fill out, and they say that they will make sure that you're not running a fever or exhibiting any symptoms or anything like that before coming on campus, or you have to also say that you're gonna respect the rules and social distance, all that. Plus, you get a request who's in your group. Unless you have one of those filled out, we will not let you on campus. So you got to have the online form filled out, which is super quick. It takes like 5 minutes.
Super easy. And again, the online form is on our link tree. So if
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tomorrow
Will
morning.
be tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but that's where you can find it to be able to fill that out. I saw a couple questions, but pop up another role. Is yes,
yeah.
masks,
So one question says, do we have to bring masks? That's a really great question. Now here's the answer. The state guidelines, if social distancing can be maintained, then masks are not required. So in other words, if there's 6 feet or more where we can be spread out, which we can in every classroom, then masks aren't required. However, super important, that is up to the comfort level of your parents and you. And if you want to wear a mask, you are absolutely okay to wear a mask. You will not be shamed by anyone here for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Whatever you choose to do, that's totally up to you. Leaders will be having discussion with their students about masks. Some leaders will probably choose to wear masks and some won't. That is up to the individual person. This is not a requirement or a mandate. It's a guideline that says when social distancing can be maintained, then masks are not required. Which is what we're planning to do, is make sure that social distancing can be maintained. And again, if you can't take that seriously, if someone wears a mask and you're teasing them, or someone's not wearing a mask and you're teasing them or giving them a hard time, then you won't be a part of this because we need people who can be respectful and mature. That's the bottom line. We really care about you guys and your spiritual growth way too much to let 1 or 2 people derail this thing. So in all honesty, we'll just remove you, and we still care about you, and you can watch us online, but being on campus, you won't be mature enough for it if you can't handle that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another question popped up is, can upcoming 6th graders start coming June 9th? That's a great question.
Super good question.
And?
That one is still in the works. The answer right now is not yet. 6th graders, you'll be on campus starting August. We are planning some stuff during the summer for you that might be sporadic. We would still encourage you to watch Youth Night online as we see what classrooms we have available. And as we get to know the 6th grade class a little bit more, the incoming 6th grade class. So we're talking about
not
we're talking about 5th graders
now.
now.
Going 6, yeah.
We will be able to maybe bring you on campus before then. But as of now, the plan is to have you come August when school starts.
Yeah. Another question popped up. It says, how long are we going to be in the actual classroom?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Really good questions from you guys. It's the whole night. So here's what's going to happen. Let me show you kind of the run of the night. We can't be in big groups, and we also can't be playing games like what we used to play. There's just certain restrictions that we have to follow right now. And until the restrictions are looser or we feel that it's safe and the government and the county has agreed on the restrictions, it's a both and thing, we're going to keep it this way. It's going to be 6 to 8. That you'll be on campus. So 6 o'clock to like 6:30, 6:40. You guys will be hanging out, catching up, doing the weekly challenge if you want. Middle schoolers will probably have some games for you. High schoolers will be more just kind of catch up time, similar to how you did home groups. At 6:40, you guys will turn on the TVs. There'll be countdown clock, all that. For like 30 minutes, there'll be Youth Night Live. It'll be a quick little icebreaker game from us up front. Not even as long as the stuff we've been doing, but a quick little game to get you guys to know each other better in the group. And then there'll be a quick message, and then you'll talk about the message, just like what you used to do in your team huddles. That'll be like 7:15 to 7:45, and then you'll turn the TV back on for a couple closing remarks, and you'll be done at 8 o'clock. Again, that's super important that you guys respect that you're not running into other people's classrooms, stuff like that. Again, if you can't handle the rules, we don't want to do that, but in order to keep people safe, in order to make sure that this continues to happen, we've got to enforce every rule like to a T. And so we need your help with that.
That's right. We got time for a couple more questions still?
Yeah, sure.
One of the next ones is, do the same grades have to be together? That kind of differs between if you're in middle school or high school, but we can kind of get more specific on that.
Yeah, you guys can request, up to like, I think 3 or 4 people, 5 people. We'll guarantee one person, just like a Hume cabin. Honestly, we're not that concerned about the grades. It's more the numbers. So with 10 or less, well, it's not 10 or less anymore, but most rooms with social distancing in effect, it's going to be about 10 to 15 max. And we're going to measure it out and make sure we have enough, seating, all that stuff in every room. A couple rooms that are bigger might have a little bit more people. But in all honesty, you may just request people from your same grade, and that's going to fill it. And it might be same gender, and that's going to fill it. Middle school, it'll be grade and gender specific. High school, we're a little bit more open if you want to have a couple girls in a group with guys. It really just depends on who you request. Right, Josh?
Exactly.
Same with grades.
Yeah. Brian or Veronica asked, will boys and girls be together? That kind of answered it.
Yeah, and it honestly depends on who you request, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we're... we want good conversation to happen, and we think that can happen if it's boys and girls together or not. But typically what we've seen is once you start requesting your friends, and this isn't for everyone, but a lot of middle schoolers, their friend groups are gender specific. So guys and girls, but that isn't necessarily going to be the case for everyone, but that'll be the case for most.
Yeah. Another question is specifically, how do the TVs work? Those are just going to be Chromecast.
Yeah, we're going to Chromecast through. In fact, if you guys, our network won't sustain it if everyone has a device in the room. So we're working hard to make sure there's a smart TV in every class. So either a smart TV or it'll be like a Chromecast attached. And that's what you'll stream through. Depending on the network and the bandwidth, and we'll announce this more, but we might have like one designated, if we're doing like a game where you're typing in answers, we might have like a Chromebook. One person brings a Chromebook and they're designated for their team. If we're doing a team versus team trivia game, something like that, they might be able to type their answer in. But we're still working on what we are able to do technology-wise, and definitely will need your patience with that too.
Totally, yeah. Well, looking for any last questions? If not,
Yeah, last questions before we head to Zoom. Any final... This is exciting stuff, guys. We are so excited to be back on campus with you guys. And again, if you haven't had a social distance visit from Steven, Josh, or I, one of us wants to come see you. And so please email us, and we'll make it happen. Yeah. Josh, you got anything else?
Yeah. Overall, guys, I mean, it's exactly kind of like Zach was saying. Like, we believe that you guys are adults, that you guys are young adults, and this is our way to kind of just empower you to the fullest. Like we said, each and every single one of you is going to have a specific role when you come into this, and we're actually really excited to see what you guys could do with that. Essentially what we're saying is, surprise us. Show us something that we haven't seen before. Make these groups your groups, and we're really excited to see what that kind of mentality can do within the realm of middle school and high school ministry.
Yeah. Christian asks a question here. He says, do we go directly to the rooms, or will there be a meeting area? there won't be a meeting
no,
area
yeah.
because we can't have any large groups gathering together at this point. And I know that there's different political opinions all across the board here, guys. Look, the bottom line is we're called to respect our governmental authorities. That's what we are called to do as believers. And right now, our governmental authorities are not asking us to violate our beliefs or anything else. We keep reminding you that the church is not a building. The church is a people. And so we do not need to be all in the same room. For safety's sake, we believe that this virus is real. We believe that it is harmful. And we believe that we're doing our best to protect you guys and also allow for you to grow with Jesus. And so, again, there's going to be a lot of rules right at the beginning. And some of you are going to think that they're dumb. But we're just going to ask that even if you think they're dumb, that you respect them. And out of leadership for your peers and out of respect for us. So if we say like, again, there'll be drop-off zones, and there may or may not, depending on hallways and how crowded they are, there might be walkways. Like you got to walk to your room from this direction and walk out this direction. Again, these are things that the state and the county are mandating, and we want to make sure we follow these so that we can keep meeting. And we know that eventually these rules are going to become more and more lax and more lax. And we go back to normal, but we didn't want to wait, however long it takes for us to be able to have a big group meeting. And in all honesty, even if we had a big group meeting, it wouldn't feel like church. Like we would all be wearing masks. We'd have to limit it to like 60 people in a capacity of downtown or something like that. And so this is, for us, this is the best option for us to all be together, even if we're in separate rooms, still be talking to each other, seeing your friends and everything else. One other good question. Are we going to have our old team huddle leaders? Ask them. If you got your team huddle leaders' numbers, text them. Some of our team huddle leaders this season has been really hard for them. Just in all honesty, just with family issues, or some of your team huddle leaders' job stuff has been hard. Dealing with some of them have kids and everything, and so there might be different leaders. And that being said, for us, we believe that you are the leaders, and that's kind of what Josh was talking about earlier. It shouldn't matter which adult is in the room. The adult's job in the room is basically just to be there for helping with social distancing stuff, making sure that you guys are following the rules and talking about the questions. But really, it's you guys that are leading. If you want to grow with Jesus, which is our hope for you, and you want to bring your friends into an authentic, real, thriving community, then you'll want that too. And if Josh's message kind of landed with you and you're like, man, I want that. I want to be the final apologetic of being a light to the world, and Christian community is that, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited. This is going to be so fun, guys. I can't wait to see you guys.
We are excited. Again, we don't know who exactly the team huddle leaders will be in this next season. There may be some new ones that we haven't seen before, which will be awesome. And but just know if there's a team huddle leader in the room, it's someone that we trust, and it's someone that we know is a great Christian and a great man of God or woman of God. So we're excited about this next season. We hope you guys are too. Parents will get an email from me. You guys can feel free to keep asking questions. These are all good questions that you asked tonight. So we appreciate you guys. We love you all, and we'll see you on Zoom. We got 2 more weeks of Zoom. So let's finish strong. Zoom for middle schoolers is starting right now. Zoom for high schoolers. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great night.